Hi, welcome back. Excuse the appearance, it will make sense in a second. In case you haven't heard already, Disney Plus released a new show. Internationally, it's in Spanish, but they released it internationally, called Entrelazados, or in the States, it's called Intertwined. And I watched it all like in a day and a half, and I love it, and I want to talk about it. So here we are. But I have things I need to do today, so I figured we'd do like a little chit chat, sort of come along on my day with me sort of moment, and we'll talk about the show together. Now, I didn't really come up with a plan of like how this video was gonna go. I don't have a script or anything, so we're just gonna chat. So I might start dilly-dallying, but we can work with it. Maybe I should start by giving a summary of the show. Let me give you a little plot. So basically, Entrelazados is about this girl, Allegra, and she gets this bracelet that like helps her time travel back to 1994 when her mom was a kid. And basically she's like trying to figure out why she's there. There's a lot of singing and dancing, some love that happens. So, you know, I'm a big fan of love triangles. There wasn't really much of a love triangle this season. It's because the boys never met each other. But I feel like next season that's gonna happen. Before Allegra even time travels, she has this planned audition for this studio called 11 O'Clock, where she wants to be part of their production of Freaky Friday, and her mom is not having it. Her mom is Angie from Violetta, by the way. And Angie does not want her to audition for Freaky Friday. She doesn't really tell her why, she just doesn't want to, but Allegra wants to do it because her grandmother was in it and like starred in it way back in the day, which is a plot hole because the stage version of Freaky Friday didn't exist until 2016, and her grandma would have been in it in like the 70s, but it's beside the point. Anyway, she wants to do that, but then in the meantime she finds this bracelet that brings her back to 1994 when her grandmother was in charge of 11 O'Clock. While she's there, she meets the younger version of her mom, and then she meets her mom's boyfriend at the time, and then she meets this other guy named Marco. And now Marco is played by the guy that plays Alvaro in Go and Tommy and Kelly's mashup. And he's fine, but you know, he's from 1994. And you know who's not from 1994 and also is a fantastic love interest for her? Kev Show. Well, Kev Show. His name is Felix on the show. He's like her bestie. So they'd be like a really nice friends to lovers moment. But at the beginning of the show, I was Team Marco, and then I realized that it would be weird if she was dating a man from 1994 when she lives in 2021, and then I said, you know what, Felix is better anyway. So that's where I stand on them right now. I'm a big Felix fan. Love Marco though, he's got a great voice, he's a decent guy, his style's questionable, but that's fine, I'll get over it. I'm gonna give a spoiler warning from like now on because I feel like that's the summary and I want to start talking about things that happened, and this is a review, so I need to be able to spoil things to give my honest opinion. Let's keep talking about the boys. So Marco and Felix, they are two lovely boy options for our girl Allegra. But like I said, Marco is from 1994, so she wouldn't get to see him all the time, and Felix lives in 2021 with her, right? He's her best friend. Obviously, Felix is the better choice, right? Also, their scenes in the finale are beautiful, and they're just a really good. I normally don't like friends to lovers, but like, I don't know, Felix and Allegra are like an exception for me for some reason. I don't really know why, but I kind of dig them. Ooh, I know I forgot to talk about. I forgot to talk about like why she ended up going back and like what I thought about that. Allegra ends up going back to 1994, and then she meets her great-grandmother there because she's still alive at that point. Her great-grandmother is played by Sharon from Soy Luna, and I just think that's really funny. Basically, Sharon from Soy Luna tells Allegra about the time when she used to be a time traveler. She found the bracelet. She's the one that hid it for Allegra to find, and her grandmother is like, when I was back in that time, I fell in love with the boy from that time too, and it ended really badly for me because he got lost in the time, because only the person that's wearing a bracelet can come back can do the time traveling, and then she tried to take him with her by holding him, and then he like combusted. So that kind of scared the crap out of Allegra, because she was like, crap, I don't want that to happen to Marco. So she kind of like tried to fix it. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Lucia, who's Sharon from Soylena, her great grandmother, told her that she's here to fix things, which is kind of an ominous statement given that we don't really know what she's here to fix. I guess the whole point was that she was trying to fix the relationship between her grandmother and her mom, because they've never been besties. They've always had issues. But like, it's kind of dumb, because then it like came down to the fact that you would think her being there would mess up the present, but it never did, which means there was never a version of that without Allegra, which I guess means she was always supposed to go there. It was always going to be her that reunited her grandmother and her mother. It was like blah. But like, I was expecting a little bit more than that. But if we put that aside, that show is fantastic. I'm trying to like not think too deeply about it. The whole plot of her trying to reunite her mom and her grandma, and then like they all become besties by the end, is a really sweet plot, and I do think it was cute, but it was kind of just a little bit of a letdown in my personal opinion. But besides that, I think the show is fantastic. It kept me on my toes. I never really knew what was happening next, which is good, and I really appreciated it. Normally when I'm watching TV, I get distracted, so I start playing on my phone and stuff like that, but I didn't for the show, which must have meant it was good, man. I don't know. I'm normally also like not much of a fan of time travel, like sci-fi type things, and that's what I thought this was kind of going to be at first, and it really wasn't. It definitely had aspects of it in there, but it was really just a lot more like soapy. Not really soapy though at the same time, and it's marketed to kids, but I really don't recommend that children under the age of like 12 watch that. Let's talk about Drunk Barbara. Okay. Barbara kind of reminds me of Hasmin from Soylena. I don't know. They're like very feisty, like very similar personalities. And there's a scene when they're at a party, and it's really funny. Yeah, I'm just like surprised that Disney went there. You know? Like, I know it's Disney Plus, and I know like it's aimed towards a little bit of an older audience, and I know that that's what they said the direction that they were going in was, but I wasn't expecting it to be like that. Ooh, let's talk about the music. The music on the soundtrack kind of confused me at first, because I was like, A, why are we doing Freaky Friday when there is not, as far as I know, a Spanish adaptation of the musical even? The stage musical also didn't exist until 2016. And this takes place in 1994. So that's kind of confusing to me. Like, why, if they could have picked literally any musical, why'd they pick Freaky Friday? And I thought maybe at first it would have to do with the plot, and there could be like that connection between like, you know, real life, like shows tend to do, like with High School Musical, the series, they do that, where like what's happening in the musical would coincide with kind of what's happening in the kids' lives, but they didn't really do that in Entrelazados, so I was kind of confused. That being said, they had to rewrite all of the Freaky Friday musical songs in Spanish, which they did a good job on, but like that's most of the album track when the show isn't, like Entrelazados isn't Freaky Friday. You know what I mean? For like, it's just the show that they're putting on. I kind of would appreciated a little more original songs. And then there's other songs on the album too, but those are all covers. Like, why didn't they give any more original songs? There's only 2. They're the songs that Marco and Diego play in their band. There's also like 80,000 instrumental tracks, which I'm kind of confused about, because who wants that? The songs they did do are really good and they kind of slap, so I'll give them that. Let's talk about theories for season 2. This season ended with Allegra and her family opening up their own theater company. Right before the show happened, her and Felix got together, which I was really excited about, because after I realized like how weird it was that Marco's from 1994. I still think they're really cute together. I just don't think he's the most practical choice. So I was really happy when her and Felix finally got together by the end of the show. But then Marco ends up coming back, putting on the play, and then the theater door opens and then Marco walks in. Her and Felix just got together and he's gonna ruin it. Anyway, I know that's not a big deal. But anyway, predictions for season 2. I think Marco is gonna come back, and I'm still confused as to how he got the bracelet, because when Allegra left him during the fire, she took the bracelet with her. She didn't drop it. And then she hid it back in her wall. So I'm kind of confused as to how Marco got the bracelet, unless he got his own. But I also had a theory that Marco was also a time traveler and just didn't tell her. So maybe he had his own and he was coming back to find her. But like for him, it would have been 25 years that he would have been like stuck somewhere looking for her. And if Allegra going back into 1994 never really changed anything because she was always supposed to do that, then it would make sense if he had always been looking for her this whole time. But I also thought it was weird that even back in 94, Marco and then Allegra's mom never really interacted with each other, which is my other reasoning for why I think he was also possibly a time traveler. There's also a theory that Marco is Allegra's dad, and honestly, for DCLA, I would not be surprised if that is a route that they took. But I also was thinking that Diego was her dad, but I doubt it. I feel like that would have been something that they were revealed in the first season. It was never even brought up that like she didn't have a dad. Like it didn't really seem to be a thought, which is why I thought it would maybe be a really good plot twist. So I'm still thinking that Diego could possibly be her father as well. I'm pretty sure the whole plot of the second season is going to be figuring out a way to get Marco back to 1994. But I honestly don't know. This show has thrown me for so many loops. So overall, I think I give this show, listen, I know I gave it a lot of critiques, but it's so hard to not give it a really high score, especially when I actually found myself genuinely enjoying every single episode. Honestly, the show is so good, guys. I can't recommend it enough. And I know it has its weird plot holes, but honestly, it really doesn't take away from the fact that this show is really, really well done. It's really well produced. It's well casted. The music is really good. Everybody has such great talent that I think we can forgive the little plot holes. At no point during the show did I know what to expect. And it wasn't in a way where I was like, this is too hard to keep up with. It was more so wow, I can't believe how well done they did this show. Let me know what you guys think about the show if you've seen it, and if you have any theories about what the second season is going to be like, because I'm really intrigued to see what other people have to say. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Entrelazados. It's my review, my theories for next season. I'm really interested to see what everybody else has to say about it, because I really like that show, but it's also so up my alley. It's so good. I can't stop talking about it. If you watch it, let me know what you think, because I want more friends to talk to about it.